तो गाइस कल मैं पहुंची थी घर 9 बजे, क्योंकि एक पूरा घंटा लग गया हम लोग को पहुंचने में। स्टेशन से स्टेशन थोड़ा दूर ही है और ट्रैफिक भी रहता है आजकल। कल की ट्रेन राइड बढ़िया थी, ट्रेन तो अच्छी थी, बस ट्रेन से पहले मुझे बहुत ही ज़्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ी। पहले मैं कॉलेज से ऑटो में बैठी, फिर ऑटो से मैं बस में बैठी, फिर एक और बस में बैठी, फिर वहां से मैं एक ऑटो में बैठी, मैंने फिर खाना खाया, फिर मैं एक और उसी ऑटो में बैठ के फिर स्टेशन गई। फिर मैंने स्टेशन में इतनी मेहनत करी भाई, मतलब पूरा सूटकेस उठा के मैंने चढ़ाया। फिर मैं गई अपने प्लेटफॉर्म में, फिर मैंने वहाँ ट्रेन में अपना कोच ढूंढा, फिर बैठी रही जब तक ट्रेन के गेट नहीं खुलते, वंदे भारत। फिर जब मैं ट्रेन में बैठी तब वो मुझे लगा कि हाँ अब ख़त्म है, अब फिर आराम कर सकते हैं, तो फिर मैंने एक आध झपकी मार ली। बस यही था कल का दिन। और आज का दिन है, आज मैं सुबह जल्दी उठी, फिर मम्मी ने चाय बनाई, फिर मैंने चाय पी, फिर मेरे सूटकेस का लॉक लग गया था जो वो भी नहीं खुला। फिर 1 घंटे बाद वो खुला है, जो फिर खुलने के बाद मैंने उसको खाली किया है, फिर मतलब उससे कपड़े निकाले, बहुत सारे गंदे कपड़े थे, और फिर बुक्स निकाली। Today we are going to talk about all the books that I own. It's not a lot, honestly, and I'm still working on increasing my collection. Like a lot of books I've read by borrowing it from my cousin, because he collects a lot of books, to prevent consumerism. So today we are going to go through that small collection of mine and see. Last year I was like, I want to keep my books somewhere very classic, and I originally kept them in my study table, but I was like, it looks messy and it's not the best way to, showcase your collection. We are going to go through the first stack of the books. These are randomly arranged. They are not arranged in any specific order. And I don't like to color code my books. Somehow, I do sometimes color code them, but it just is like my collection is not that organized to color code it. These are not all the books that I've read. I've read more than this. This is 1984. I have started reading it, but I have not finished it, so I'm not going to talk a lot about it yet. The next we have is Banana Yoshimoto's Kitchen. It's it has 2 stories and it's a very short read as well, but I did not read it at once. I read one story and then I kept the book for a while and then I read the next story. It's very comforting indeed, and I can definitely read it there. Especially the first story, I liked it even more. It's basically about how do you live your life even if you're grieving, and how all the characters in this book get through their lives. In the first story, I would say there are 2 main characters. Both are having grief in their life in their own way, and both are lived with it instead of pushing it off. They live with it in a way, because it's not like they are given a choice, just they have to do what they have to do. But it's not sad in any way. It's actually very beautiful, and I would highly recommend you to read it. The next is we have another short read. The whole book revolves around that night, all the events that take place in that night, and it has, as you know, Murakami story don't have a start or an end, and so it is kind of story that will linger with you for a while. The next is Normal People. This is the one that I borrowed, and I have already talked about it, so I won't talk about it much. So the last book that I read is Normal People by Salivini, which is base, and it's a hardcover, so I love hardcovers. But also there's this fact about how I think I actually like paperback more than hardcovers. For the experience of reading, I think the paperbacks are just the OGs. Tried reading it once before, and I also tried watching the show before I even read it, but I feel like reading it is much wonderful experience than actually watching it, because watching it you will have to create the emotions, just have to see how they act in every particular scene to just figure out what's going on in their mind, because these two characters are normal people. The protagonists, both of them, live more in their head than they do in their life, especially the female character. She lives more in her head. So if you are able to figure out what's going on in her head by watching the show, good for you, but I cannot. So I had to read this book to be able to figure out what's going on in her head, because she lives in her head more than she lives her physical life, like I said before. So I had to read the book, and I did, and I figured out, I wouldn't say there was character development. I mean, there surely was evolution in both of the characters, but you can't tell if it was positive or negative. So there was evolution, sure, but you cannot name it. You cannot give it a name. The next thing that is in my TBR currently is Elenor Oliphant is completely fine by Gail, Honeyman. So I watched the review video I watched a reel on Instagram, and I know that is the worst place. It's not the worst place actually to find a book, but it's also not the best. Like, no one goes to their reels and looks for book recommendations. And I found this, and the girl said that she read it on the airplane or airport, I don't know. Yeah, it was on the airplane, because she said that I was crying so bad that the air hostess had to ask her if she was okay, and she said that she was not okay. So I do want to get the experience of reading it myself on an airplane, or maybe airport. Airport is fine, because on planes when I fly, I don't like to read. The next we have Call Me By Your Name. Aciman's writing in the Call Me By Your Name is really magical, because I've read another book by aciman, but it's not as good. I mean, obviously the story, I loved it. I read The Gentleman from Peru, by the way, and this writing, I expected it to be as magical as this one, but it was not. But obviously I love the story, and I read it one sitting, like legit started and ended it in one sitting. So, and I don't really have to talk about Call Me By Your Name, you already know. I haven't read it yet, so whatever. This Wuthering Heights, again, I have not read it. I will read it, but for me right now, classics is a little hard to get into, because obviously I am not a classic reader. Are we going to talk about this book? Do you guys expect me to talk about this book without shedding tears? No, I can't. This is The Kite Runner by Khalid Hoseeini. I read it last summer. Very beautiful. I would say this is a book any reader from any part of the world should read. Maybe the next we have Butter. You would expect it to be a very fast-paced book, but it's not. It revolves around a killer who is not a killer, but who is a killer in ways she is responsible for the death of 3 people. Tuesdays with Morrie. I bought it without even hearing about it, and I never really buy those kind of books. I bought it from Mumbai, and again a manga. Then we have Almond by, then we have Forest of Enchantments. Okay, this video is, I'm making this video basically because I want to look at all the books that I own and just be reminded that I have them. Oh my god. The last in this deck was What You Are Looking For Is in the Library. It is a book with a few short stories. Each of them is not interconnected. The last 2 are though. We have Sally Rooney's Intermezzo. We have Norwegian Wood by Murakami. This is fun. Let me fix this up. This is a book that got me into reading after abandoning reading as a hobby. After just reading 2 books, I was like, I stopped reading. But this book is what got me into it again. I also have Annie Frank, which I read. I didn't complete it though, but I read most of it. And I looked for spoilers once I reached a part that was a little slow paced. Should not say this, but it was slow paced. Okay, it took me a while, but I finally made the stash. It's not that big like I said, but it's looking good.
The evening drips like honey, oh so slow. A saxophone whisper.
I'm here right now and the sun is setting. It's really beautiful day and the clouds look so pretty. I'm gonna show you guys. I don't know if it does justice or not, but you can see it's a really pretty day. Never know what's gonna happen next, you know. And Jabalpur looks too pretty right now. And like I said before, the AC manipulates you and gaslights you into thinking the weather outside is so good if it looks good with the AC on, but you go outside and it's warm and humid as hell, bro. I'm contemplating that if I should drive or not. I think I will.